Alright, so right now I'm getting ready to tighten those torque converter bolts that I mentioned, and it's going to be a 2-camera setup. I'll have this one here, and this one is just seeing the kind of stuff that's going on the outside. I'm going to use this camera here, camcorder, I guess a little more designed for this kind of work that I'm doing now, which is to go in a little further. I'm trying to get a good angle for this. I think I might have found a decent angle. So now just to zoom all the way in, I think. And try to focus on what's going on over there. If you can even see it. Let's see how that works out. Okay, I think this way it's not too far, and I can still speak to what I'm doing. Actually, I'll move this a little further this way. Man, the troubles I go to show you guys video, huh? Okay, there you go. See, there's this corner of the oil pan right here. So that will be the way if I try to record from anywhere else. So I'm having to make do with this angle right here. And I'm trying to find a good zoom now and a good focus. I'm going to have to zoom in even further, which is why I wanted the camcorder for this part of it. It can zoom and still retain focus pretty far. Okay, so now you have an idea of what exactly I'm trying to record. Just get to work. The tools for this part are going to be my 19mm for the crank pulley bolt and 14mm for these torque converter bolts. And obviously a torque wrench, if I can remember where to put mine. Want the seat to drop. There you go, a little better, huh? But now I have to get up. Might require a little bit of movement back and forth, but here we go. It's not perfectly aligned, so I'll get this. I moved it counterclockwise in this case. There you go, a little better alignment. Obviously you want to hand thread this. Don't want to strip anything, not here. Stripping is generally not a good thing when it comes to fasteners, especially not here. Okay, so 19, and I'm going to turn this thing counterclockwise is the best way to do it. And usually I just look here and try to estimate when I've gone a full 90, but sometimes I have to put my hand in there to be sure. Oh, I almost missed it because see, it's a hole now. It's not a bolt that I'm touching. On the way out it's different because I'm touching for bolts. Okay, I know the angle that I have this crank pulley at, and let's try to guess this. Go for 90. Go for 90. Right here, the hole should be. Yeah, sure thing. So not too bad. I haven't really lost my mojo when it comes to that. Works pretty well when I'm using my normal breaker bar without a ratchet, right? Pretty easy to estimate that. Okay, give me another 90 right there. Right there. Ooh, almost overshot that this time. Okay, so but things get a little, not really tricky, but maybe a little interesting, so to say. So I overshot that. It's going to be a little hard to use this. Hey, I guess I had quite a lot of distance to go. So let's do this. I'm taking a peek now. Okay. This time I'm going to use a breaker bar with a 19mm outside, just because I want to turn it, I guess, in my, I don't really need this ratchet, but I'm hard-headed enough to want to keep using it. 14mm. Just turn it a couple of times. You know, let me just do this by hand to make life easier. And by my cheat sheet, I know I'm going for 38 foot-pounds. So that's good over there. Turn it 90. Right around there. Did it pass? Nope, it's right there. And 38 foot-pounds is going to come pretty quick. Okay, all hand tightened, so let's do this. Find a way to mark them if you want to, but I guess with only 4 bolts, it's kind of hard to get things confused. 38 pounds. £38 it is. But see, something's going to happen. Normally, if you try to turn this, sometimes for 38 pounds you might be okay. Might be. Just let's see. Okay, so that's 38. That's fine. But let me show you. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it just works better to have something helping you. So every once in a while, I end up having to use a special tool, and I'll have to use it when I'm tightening the crank pulley. So for now, I'm going to use it as well. Might as well, just to make sure that I am indeed tightening this thing down to the 38 pounds that it requires. It's not really that much torque, and you can see the crank pulley moved it a little bit. Somehow lost my socket, 19mm. Oh well. So sometimes this is what I like to do. Just have it there. even if it's not really working too hard. Go. So that's either one or two, depends on how you're counting it, depends on using this tool. And I'll be honest, usually what I end up doing, get it to the 38 that it requires, then just a smidge more. But you have to be very careful, especially with bolts as short as these. The elastic limit might be really close, so I don't really know how accurate my torque wrench is, but I usually sometimes do this by feel. After disassembling so many of these, you get to know, disassembling and assembling many of these, you get to know what feels right. Last one. I think this one was pretty good from the beginning. The first one I went with the torque wrench. Yes, I did not use my special tool. Maybe at this point I'm going to bring the other camera in so I can show exactly what I'm doing here as I lock it. There you go. So what you're aiming for right now is just make sure that these teeth over here, these teeth engage with the teeth in the ring gear, and that's how this tool stops the ring gear from turning. Hence the name, the ring gear stopper. Okay, I'm gonna do it one more time for a different purpose this time. So I guess don't really need the camera. Well, I will. Let me tell you the reason I'm doing it. So this time it's a little more serious, and I'm gonna engage it all the way in there. Lock the teeth. And actually bolt this down. It's good enough. This time it's a little more crucial. Reason being that I'm working on the crank pulley bolt right here. Now the torque rating for this is, this one is a little more important. It has a torque spec, it's angle tightening. So first it calls for, is it about 82 foot-pounds? 72. Yep, 65 to 72 foot-pounds. And I'll tell you, when this bolt is on there during removal, it is on there and it is not playing. So the bolt is installed, no lubrication going on. I'll aim for the first part of it, which is 72 foot-pounds, and let's just see how it feels. So 65 to 72, and being the kind of man I am, I'm going for 72. Let's do 72 foot-pounds over here. Didn't take much to get there. Once it gets to 72, they said it needs another 90 to 96 degrees of tightening. So it's pretty handy that I have this set up like this. I just need to take this all the way to the bottom, and then I should be good, give or take. So let's do that. Well, pulling it is going to be cool, but pushing it down is going to be a little safer and better for my back. So that's what I'm going to do. I know for a fact that the factory rating isn't that tight, so I don't need a cheater bar yet. Let's just do this. So I guess I lied about one part. The pulley's not moving at all. The pulley is good. What we're trying to do is move the bolt by itself. So it started up here. I want it somewhere down here. That makes sense. The bolt actually has mating marks, but it just makes sense to do it this way. Okay. Got like 30 degrees maybe. Whatever you do, you don't want this thing running away from you at all. And I'll tell you, just by feeling it, we're fine. This thing is not going anywhere. So we'll leave it be. We don't want to get too crazy with it, but then we need to loosen down there because this is not coming out anytime soon. It's really tight in there. So let's back this up a little bit. Just a little. There you go. Enough to give it some play, right? Can you see that playing? Just a little. There you go. Enough to give it some play, right? Can you see that playing? Yeah. So now I can remove it with the utmost confidence that I have not screwed up my project over here. Okay. At this point we're pretty much done using this tool, done tightening things, and I think it's a pretty good point to stop for the night. Okay, we're not quite done yet. After doing all the bolt work in here, we need to find a way to protect our stuff, right? So you usually have a cover back there. This might have been the original one for the engine. Can't really recall right now. But I have a better one. So that's what we're going to do. They usually come with some kind of felt padding, felt insulator, but we'll be okay. So, since I'm working one-handed for right now, get your bolt, install it, and have it over there. Pretty simple. Usually I know when I'm done with that. By the time I'm doing that, it's game over. Feeling quite proud of myself, right? Okay, good. It was taking a lot longer than I hoped it would, but I'm not freaking out at this moment. And icing on the cake. Remember the stickers, or rather the tape that I had up there? The next move for my part is to go ahead and install the front crankshaft seal. And make sure that it doesn't give a it's not turning the whole assembly. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like leaving serious matters to chance. So what I do is I label this thing. My masking tape says not tight, so that's a reminder to me. When I'm done with it, once I remember to tighten it, I'll just take off the masking tape. Well, I am proud to say that I can finally take these off. Perfect. That's just part of my reminder system. Remember the Allen wrenches I was talking about earlier? Here's one. Here's another one. Anyway, we are going places. We're pretty much ready to install. What am I going to do? Well, the starter has already been installed. We need the exhaust manifolds. Before the exhaust manifolds, we need to install the motor mounts first. So that's going to be the next step.